Good morning, Year 3. Welcome to our reading comprehension lesson based on poetry. The LI is the same as yesterday to be able to explain the main message or theme in a poem. Over the last 3 days, we have touched on aspects like alliteration. So you can see on the left-hand side here, we have I have heard how hedgehogs hog the hedge. And those words all start with the same sound, and you can see they start with the same letter as well in this case. And then on the right hand side we have the examples of onomatopoeia, and lots of you have been able to use alliteration and onomatopoeia in your poetry. Below is a verse with rhyme. So I'm going to read the rhyming verse first. The coolness of the night refreshes my skin. The stars shine so bright, causing me to grin. Now that is an A-B rhyme because the last word in line 1 and line 3 both rhyme, and the last word in line 2 and line 4 rhyme. Now this is something that some people are already doing, and it's an aspect that we will focus more on next week. So let's start our quiz to begin with. So question number 1 for our quiz will be, sorry, I'm just going to flick through this because this has come up accidentally. Now the quiz will start. Okay, she went to the market for some vegetables. Is that alliteration or not alliteration? Number 2, Barney barked at the car backing up. Is that alliteration or not alliteration? Ali asked if she was an aspiring actress. Is that alliteration or not alliteration? Remember, you can use the pause button whenever you need. Number 1 here, what is onomatopoeia? Is it A, the use of purposely messy prose for dramatic effect, or B, words which create a visual image, or C, the Greek word for gobbledygook, or D, a word that sounds like the sound it describes? And I'm jumping to 3 because I did not like number 2. Which of the following is onomatopoeia? A, slurp, B, glug glug, C, ha ha, or D, all of the above? And number 4, rewrite the following sentence using onomatopoeia. He fell down on his skateboard. So which sentence has onomatopoeia or an example of onomatopoeia in it? Is it A, the skateboard skittered across the ground and he fell with a thud? Is it B, his skateboard slipped from his sweaty hand? Or C, he fell, the skateboard fell, the sky fell? Or is it D, one must be careful not to fall when skateboarding? And finally, the last one, rhyme. You can see there are a selection of words in front of you. Can you select any of those words and find another word that rhymes with the one that you've chosen? Remember, you can use the pause button. If you need to stop for a bit longer, use the pause button and restart the video when you're ready. I'm going to continue with our lesson. Okay, now you have to select a rhyming word in this activity, and the rhyming words are in the brackets. So this poem is about Mr. Yes and Mr. No. Mr. Yes and Mr. No could not decide which way to. Select the word that rhymes with no. I'm going to continue. Pause the pause button if you need to. They walked all day, they walked all night. They first turned left and then turned. Select the word that rhymes with night. They ran along a railroad track, then turned around and came right and select the word in the brackets. They wandered in and out of town. They hiked up hills and stumbled. You know what to do next. They strolled in straight lines, circles. Remember, pause the button if you need to. They climbed up ladders, stomped downstairs, but everywhere they ever went, they wound up there by accident, because the two could not on where to go or what to see. That's a poem written by a poet called Ken Nesbitt. Press the pause button if you need to. I'm going to continue with our poetry. Okay, so here you need to select the correct spelling of the word in brackets to complete the rhyme. Okay, so I'm going to read the weather is perfect for running. So the weather, select the correct spelling for the word weather, is perfect for running. I think that I'll go for a jog. Select the correct spelling for I'll. Except I'm a little bit tired. So maybe I'll just walk the dog. Right, you need to use the pause button. I'm going to continue reading. You look at the words and select the correct spelling for each word. But he seems too hyper for walking. He looks kind of hard to control, so maybe I'll leave him at home and go for a leisurely stroll. But all of my socks are too dirty and all of my shoes are untied, so maybe I'll sit on the front porch, or maybe I'll just stay inside. I see that my kitten is purring and wants to curl up on my lap. It wouldn't be right to prevent her from getting her afternoon nap. It's comfortable here on the sofa. My pillows are cozy and deep. The weather is perfect for running, so that's why I'm going to sleep. Okay, you're in charge of the control button. There's a lot to do in there. You're just selecting the correct spelling for each word. I'm going to continue with our poetry session. Right, so we've got questions about this poem. So the first question is the weather good or bad for running? How do you know? The second question, what word is used to describe the dog in this poem? Remember, look for keywords. The key word in that question is dog. So get used to the idea that you look for keywords or phrases in a question so that you can use that phrase or word to locate the information in the text, in this case, in the poem or certain verse in the poem. What is the kitten doing? Once again, kitten is the key word. Think of another word for stroll. So stroll is in the second verse. Find it. Think of another word for stroll. How many stanzas or verses does this poem have? List 4 excuses the boy uses in the poem. What does the boy do at the end of the poem? And finally, what do you think the main message in this poem is? It's all a bit of fun. So once again, use the pause button. I'm going to continue with the poetry session. Okay, so we've got my invisible dragon, and you're going to listen to the reading of my invisible dragon first, and then we'll go over the reading comprehension questions.
My invisible dragon. I have an invisible dragon. She's such a remarkable flyer. She soars through the sky on invisible wings, exhaling invisible fire. My dragon is utterly silent. She soundlessly swoops through the air. Why, she could be flying beside you right now, and you'd never know she was there. And if you should reach out to pet her, I don't think you'd notice too much. Her body is simply too airy and light to sense her by means of a touch. And just as you don't see or hear her, and just as she cannot be felt, my dragon does not have an odour at all, which means that she'll never be smelt. Although you may find this outlandish, you just have to trust me. It's true. And, oh, by the way, did I mention I have an invisible unicorn too?
Well, there you go. My invisible dragon. So once again, let's go over the LI. The LI is to be able to explain the main message or theme in a poem. So let's have a look at some of our questions. Once again, pause the video if you need to. Number 1, apart from the dragon, what other mythical animal is mentioned in the poem? Number 2, in the line that reads, "She's such a remarkable flyer," what does remarkable mean? Is it A, amazing, B, fast, C, slow, or D, dangerous? Question 3. How many lines does each stanza or verse of this poem contain? Is it A, 16, B, 4, C, 2, or D, 20? And number 4. Although you may find this outlandish, what do you think outlandish means? You may need a dictionary for this. Some people may use Google. And question 5. Did dragons ever exist on Earth? After reading the poem, what evidence can you use? Now that will really decide on how much of this poem you really did understand. So once again, use the text. There are keywords in the questions. Think about your answer before writing it. So think first before doing. Use the text. That's where you'll collect all the appropriate and relevant information. So there's been quite a few questions and quite a few different activities to do. So don't forget, just use that pause button. Right, once you've done, and I know you'll do a good job of this, I've been very impressed with all the work that I've received so far. People have been working very, very hard. Remember, send or email your work to yr3@grange.harrow.school.uk. Well, good luck with this task, and as normal, I look forward to reading your wonderful work. Have an enjoyable day. Bye for now.